Hi, hello, namaskar. I am Sumedha and you're watching Messy Curves. I am back with another video and it is what are the books I read in the month of July. I know it's too late for it, but still, I gotta do it. So let's get into the video. So, book, um, in the month of July, I read 4 books, and I told you that I was reading Pride and Prejudice, and I told you, I promise you, that I will surely read 2 books, second book after completing Pride and Prejudice. And guess what? What? I read 4 books. Okay, like that's not lengthy, but still, I have been lagging from the goal that I had decided. So, yeah, let's get into the reviews and how I liked or not liked the book. The very first book I read in this month is Pride and Prejudice, like you all know. Yes. So, in the month of July, right? So, this book basically revolves around how Mr. Bennet and Mrs. Bennet have 5 daughters and who are yet to be married. So, a very rich young man, Mr. Bingley, comes from London. In the town they live, and they met Jane, which is the eldest daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Bennet, goes to a ball, and then there they met Mr. Bingley and Miss Jane. So they talk, and eventually they fall in love. And same is with Elizabeth, which is the second daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Bingley, and she and Mr. Darcy literally fights the whole time in the story, but eventually the fights take turn and turns and turns and turns. Actually, what happens is, okay, it will be a little spoiler, but not that much. So yeah, what happens is Elizabeth misunderstands his personality and him, and listens to other people opinions about Mr. Darcy, and that's why she starts hating him, and they both fight over some social topics, and then the story goes around like that. And eventually they all end up together. Circumstances are like that they eventually break up too, but at the end, obviously, it's a Jane Austen novel. How can it survive without romance? So eventually, Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth end up marrying. Jane and Mr. Bingley marry. It's a very beautifully written book. But the thing is, it was like too domestic because it was literally written, I guess, in 1818, right? I don't remember. Yeah, something in 18th. I don't remember. I would say it 4.5 stars because I really liked reading it. But there is a but, I read again a Jane Austen novel, that is Persuasion, and oh my god, that was the worst decision I took. I don't know if you are a Persuasion lover, no offense at all to you, but I literally didn't like it. Maybe because the plot is literally same as Pride and Prejudice, like literally same. This is the same, like Anne. This book is about Anne and Mr. Walter, I guess. Yeah, no. Wentworth, yeah, Anne and Wentworth. This is about like they fall in love in a very young age. Anne falls in love with Mr. Wentworth in the age of 19, and when it comes to marrying, she rejects him. But after she rejects him because he wasn't that rich at that time. So after 8 years, Wentworth is like very rich and very capable person, and now he is back in the town, and they eventually meet. But the thing is, Anne is seeing someone else, and even Mr. Wentworth is seeing someone else, but not they are literally in love with them. They are being set up by their family or friends. So, but this book only revolves around like how Anne and Wentworth give each other a second opportunity, and eventually they fall in love. But yes, the amazing part of this book was I was bored throughout the book. I'm not kidding. Like literally, I was bored. It literally has the same scene. I will tell you a scene. In Pride and Prejudice, there's a scene where Elizabeth is at her cousin's house. So what happens is she is alone at her house, and Mr. Darcy visits her. But like he doesn't visit her on purpose. But yeah, she wasn't there. That's why he visits. So what happens is they meet coincidentally. Anna, yeah, sorry, I'm messing it up. Yeah. So what happens is in this, the scene is like Anne is alone at her cousin's house, and Mr. Darcy comes to the house. He doesn't know that Elizabeth is there. I said Elizabeth, right? Anthony Bolina, I'm sorry if I said. So yeah, Elizabeth in Pride and Prejudice. So Elizabeth is at home and Darcy comes, and there is a scene, particular scene, and it's like descriptive, I'll tell you. Like he comes and searches, no one's there, and he's talking to her, and he stands by the window. I'm saying this particular scene because it is literally the same scene here. Anne visits Bath, a place, and she's alone at home, and Mr. Wentworth comes, and the same, literally a repetitive scene in of Pride and Prejudice. Like Jane basically writes same about like marriage and housewife, how romance and all. If I guess I would have read these two in months apart or a year apart, I would have liked, but still I guess I wouldn't have liked it that much. Maybe 3 stars. Yes, 3 stars also because like I liked certain parts of it. Let me read it out. If I will read it out, it will take a much longer time, and I don't want to bore you all. So like you see this, I have literally annotated a whole part here. This and this 2 whole pages. So this basically talks, she is discussing Anne and Mr. Wentworth and one more, Captain Harville, I said. Yeah. They are discussing about the social norms for women and men. And that discussion part is really interesting, and I literally loved how she wrote it all. So yeah, 3 stars for Persuasion. The third book I read for this month is, in July month, is Can Spring Be Far Behind by Shelley Gupta. She is an Indian author, and I guess this is her first novel. I literally picked it up randomly, and oh my god, that wasn't the goodest decision I have ever taken. I like the summary that was given when I was selecting it in my cart, but what happened is when I literally read it in a day. It doesn't have many pages, like 163 pages. So like this book is about a boy named what D'Souza? Chris D'Souza, yeah. Chris D'Souza, he loses his mother at the age of 14 due to cancer, and he has a best friend who takes him into his family, obviously with his permission of father and mother, and they are family of 5 already, and they take him into the family, and they eventually accept him, and the turns aren't that much, like, a book keeps you indulged only when the story is intriguing, but I am really disappointed. But it wasn't that bad, but like I would still give this 2 stars only because she tells about how Chris was in their family, how good he was to them and how good they were to him. But what is there in the book is like 2 events are said, and it's said that the two people accuse him to be a bad person or something, but the family doesn't believe those people at all, and they accept Chris in their family. And like whole story you will be like, okay, he is really a nice boy, he is real, and boom, at the last it's like, no, he cheated us and he is a bad boy. Everyone said that you shouldn't believe, and we still believe, and this is what we get, a dhoka and all, which was actually, it was a real life story. So I am very sympathetic for it. Like I felt very bad for, like, after reading the author's note at the end, I felt bad, but the way it was delivered wasn't that good. Yeah, I won't say much. So yeah, that was the 3rd book I read in this month, and the 4th book is The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Okay, so about this book. So this book has actually won Nobel Prize of Literature, and I don't know why, but I don't know why. I would tell you, like, I have given this book 3.5 stars. Yes, it has won, but still I literally was very enthused. Like when I was going on booktube, I saw many people recommending it, and also when I bought it, I was like, Nobel Prize of Literature, wow. So it's not that big, I guess it's 99 pages only. I read it in 2 days. This book basically revolves around an old man and a boy who is helping him with catching fishes, but the old man is still determined to catch fish on his own. So he goes on a 3-day journey, I suppose 3 days, yeah. 3 days journey to catch a fish, and literally the whole book revolves around the fish and old man and the sea and the bird. Like literally, it's like too much description. Like I would say I can do from literally page 34 to 90 or something. It was literally a description about the fish, how he caught, how he chased, and something, which really was boring for me. But yet the way it described about the struggles a fisherman faced, which we don't know. Like, it's really tough going in a sea with strings and hooks and then catching a fish. Like, that was the journey. And even being a very old man, he tries to catch a fish, and at last he catches a fish which is very rare. So it gives a good message of a determination and how a person should be determined for what he wants to do and what he likes to do. But still, it was like too stretchy for me, like the middle part. That's what I will say about that. If you are a lover of this book, I really don't mean any offense to you. That's my opinion about this book. I respect your opinion, so don't attack me for this, okay? So yes, this comes to an end to the video. These were the 4 books I read in July month, and I am currently reading in August 2 books simultaneously for the first time. I never read 2 books simultaneously, but this time I am reading, and oh my god, I'm literally loving this story. The Picture of Dorian Gray, and oh my goodness, from the first page itself, this book is so interesting. Like, first 3-4 chapters, there isn't a 1 or 2 page left which I haven't scribbled or annotated. Like, literally, very interesting book. I am like 86 pages into the book, and it is 165 pages. The copy I have, that have 165 pages, and it's really interesting. It's about main character, obviously Dorian Gray, who is a really handsome man, and a painter named Basil who draws his portrait. And the painter himself is so impressed by his art that he can't believe that he drew it, but he doesn't want to exhibit that painting because he says that he has put too much of himself in that painting that he can't even show it. So that's the part which is really intriguing. And what happens is, Dorian Gray is a very young man, and eventually Mr. Henry comes in the life of Dorian Gray, and that takes a huge turn in Dorian Gray's life, and he slowly falls into a black pit, where his mind is manipulated so much. Like, I'm so frustrated with Henry so much. Like, after reading, I'll give you the full review, but I am literally loving this book. Like, you can see, I have annotated it mostly, and even I have commented on everything. Like, see, here, then here. Like, I'm so angry on Henry. Like, how the hug is summoned so bad? How can he manipulate him so much? And the second book I'm reading is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And sorry, I didn't say this was by Oscar Wilde. This is by Oscar Wilde, and this is by Harper Lee. And this, I would say, is pretty much interesting, very interesting actually. I'm currently halfway in the book. This is basically about a lawyer who advises his children defends a real mockingbird, saying that we shouldn't kill a mockingbird. Obviously, to kill a it's written to kill a mockingbird, but it said that you shouldn't kill a mockingbird because it's considered a sin. That's why. And this is basically about how a Negro man is blamed for the rape of a white girl. This story revolves around that, and how Mr. Atticus is a lawyer who is dealing with that case. I guess the man is accused. I'm still not full into the story. Like, I am into 178 pages, and I still have halfway through the book. It's like 309 pages. So yeah, I'll give the review I'll make another video, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, that was pretty much what I am doing right now, and I am currently reading 2 books. Maybe I'll be finished by Sunday, 15th of August, and then I'll start new work. Stay tuned for that. And if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Also, comment down if you have read any of this book and what are your opinions on this book. I'll meet you in my next video. Till then, sayonara, bye bye.